right, so we are in the car. Everything's packed up and heading towards Savannah. It is the relay for Ryan, triathlon and duathlon. I'm doing the triathlon, so it's a sprint distance, which is usually it's a 400 meter, but this one's going to be a 500 meter swim, a 13-mile bike ride, and a 3.1 mile run. Per the description, it's supposed to be fast and flat. That it will be, though, yet to be seen. This is my first time competing in Savannah, so it'll be rather interesting.
So my first triathlon was in 2008 or 2009, and that was the Athletic Iron Girl. And ever since then, I was hooked. So my last triathlon, it's been about a little over 4 years. I did that one just to say I was back after having Nora. But then after doing that, there was a bunch of things that got in the way, and being as heavy as I wasn't going to do another triathlon. This time around, I was like, I need to be healthy. So that was my goal all last year. And then this year was, okay, now it's for me to get back into triathlons.
The reason I'm in the driver's seat, well, I tend to like to drive anyway. And John's the cameraman. As you can probably tell, he's the one that's holding the camera. So I'm actually just listening to podcasts, listening to audiobook. If I start to get a little tired, then I'll turn on Spotify to listen to some music. But I'm now starting to mentally switch to the race. I still am a little nervous because again, this is the first for this year. It's the first in a few years. I've done cardio, I've done endurance, but really this time around has been mainly lifting. And based off of the outcome for this event, it's whether or not I'll continue my training with the progressive overload the way I've been doing, or am I going to kind of switch it up a little bit to be a combination of both endurance as well as progressive overload.
I've had a lot of life events that impacted a lot of my training. And I mean, did it stop my training? No. But did it make me have to reassess and change up my training? Yes. So like I had a major career change this past year for the better. And it gave me, I had better rest in between. Again, with the weight loss goals that I did, and also with strength, because I mean, my training in the past has always been cardio focused, and this training that I went through last year was more strength focused. I still have strength goals that I am wanting to hit, but I feel that focusing on strength development and progressive overload actually helped me with this, my first triathlon this year.
And now we sit in traffic. Welcome to Atlanta.
I mean, everybody has that nervous energy when they're getting ready to compete. So, did I have nervous energy? Yes. I had the nervous energy of, will I bomb out in the swim? I had a dream that I that I was drowning.
So swim, bike, and run. Bike and run. Make sure I have everything laid out. Good. Wearing that with this and my hoodie to go check in. Bike's here, so I go ahead and fill up my water bottles before we leave the hotel. Right now, I just did a hot shower to wake up and have everything laid out. All my stuff from the transition is in my bag. I will have to take out my nose piercing because, fun fact, while I can swim like a fish, I actually have swimming trauma where I now can't really hold my nose when swimming, so I do have to use a nose plug. So the swimming trauma was as I was a kid, and the pool at the YMCA where I grew up, I was swimming in the middle of the pool, deep end, lights went out, power went out, and there were a bunch of people in there, people scurrying to get to the edge because it's completely pitch black down there, and I'm getting pushed under the water. I eventually come up, but yeah. So I can't really hold my nose like most people can when swimming, but as long as I have a nose plug, I swim like a fish. These are all my fuels throughout the race. I have chews, goo gels, stingers, just, a cyclist go-to pack, and I'll take maybe 3 and I'll put it in my saddlebag. I didn't eat where I would like to spend it, but I was exhausted. So it was kind of like, do I rest or do I eat? And I chose rest because I was tired. Yeah, this was my dinner last night. Not the best choice. Not the best choice. But it was a simple sugar that I had, the carb. And that's what I was craving for at that time. So now I'm like, it's that delicate dance of, do I eat, but then I'm stuffed and I'm going to be racing with a full stomach, or do I just get what I need to kind of take the edge and kind of pace myself? And so I'm definitely going to get protein and, definitely going to grab a banana. So I will definitely have a banana with me. And coffee. I must have coffee. Physically, I'm up. Mentally, I'm still waking up. So I've got coffee, and this will eventually kick in. It's pacing myself though. So it's like mentally kind of preparing myself not to kind of like, I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. Don't let the nervous energy push you to use up your energy too fast, because there's no breaks in the water. You can flip, and you can flip over and kind of coast on your back to kind of give you a break, but your break is when you come out. So you gotta leave here early because I gotta get my race packet, since we didn't get down here early enough last night to pick it up at the bike shop. So about 20 minutes away from the place. I gotta put it back in the phone to get driving directions, just to confirm. Or actually it's less than 20. I think we're like maybe 13. Of the event, it wasn't the worries of if I could or if I won't. It's when. What's going to be my time? How am I going to handle each event? And I just had to remind myself, take it easy.
Come on, Naomi.
The swim course was in a pond. I have a texture thing as it is already. Like you can definitely feel like there were sticks. And I think I stepped on a few turtles because you can feel the roundness of their shell and it's silt. So it's like that muddy kind of, I had that conversation with myself of don't touch the, whatever you do. I would take my time with the freestyle and then I would flip over if I needed to take a break. There were times where I was boxed in by others. And so I would kind of like come around to the corner or come around to the side, or I would kind of drift back a little bit so I wouldn't get kicked. Had that happen to a few people? Yeah. Have I had that happen to me? Absolutely. But in that particular water, I was like, I just want to keep it as steady as possible. I don't want to get in my head, nothing. I did see that there were some people that were standing up and walking, and actually that's a disqualifier. Now, I don't know if that happened to those people that did that, but you're not supposed, if it's someplace where you can stand up, you could, but you can't make forward progression. Like you couldn't hold on to a kayak if there was a rescuer in the water to help you move forward. That's a disqualifier. But for me personally, I don't care how shallow that water was. I wasn't stepping on there. So even when I got to the exit buoy, which was the orange buoy, when I put my foot down to be able to get out, my foot sank all the way down to my knee. It was just, yeah. I think that was the most memorable part of that swim was that ground. And I know someone mentioned like, oh, how are you gonna, are you sure there are no alligators or crocodiles in there? I wasn't worried about crocodiles. I was worried about snapping turtles and a catfish. But I was done. I was successful. I got out. Once you come out of the water, you have to run to the transition box and running barefoot and it's grass and sticks and stones and stuff like that. So, but by the time I get into the transition box, again, it's been a while since I've actually practiced that transition, and I didn't have a tri-suit. I had my swimsuit, then I had my cycling shorts I was going to put on and a shirt. Some people have just a straight up tri-suit that they can wear through all three events. I did not. But what I did want to do as soon as I got in the transition box was get that nastiness off of me because I had mud and sticks and grass and all this other stuff on me. So I used one of my water bottles that I would have stayed hydrated on the bike to clean myself off. I tried to rinse off as much as I could, as fast as I could. And thank you to RitFit because I did have my towels with you guys to help at least wipe some of the gunk off. Not all, but at least for my feet, because I was not going to cycle with mud in my socks and in my shoes. I need to practice more with a faster transition of maybe 30 seconds or less. Ideally, I'd like to get it down to 20 seconds or less. But I probably was in the transition box for about a minute and a half, just kind of getting dressed and cleaning off and putting my shoes on. I felt good on the bike. I mean, I had my water bottles, but guess what I forgot in transition? I forgot to load my snacks into my saddlebag. So I didn't have any of my snacks for like fueling. So I didn't have my glue gels. I didn't have any of my gummies. I didn't have any of my stingers. Those were all still in my transition bag. So note to self, that's making sure to load that up beforehand. So it's one less thing they have to think about. But again, it's the adrenaline of the race that keeps you going. And I had my water. So every 10 15 minutes I was making sure that I was taking sips from my water bottle. This race I did not change out my pedals to be clip-ins. I left it where it had the toe box on them because I did not want to have a race in which I had to clip in, clip out, and be unsafe and unsteady. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because when you run out to the mount station, you can't ride your bike in the transition. You have to come out of transition box, go to where it says you can mount, you cross over the sensor bar, and then you can mount. And it was real bumpy, like the cement was kind of chipped and whatnot. And if it was clip in, I could have fallen. In fact, when I came back, I had to dismount, same spot. and I had taken my foot out, prepared to go ahead and dismount, and the bike started tilting on me. And I was able to save myself because, again, I had taken my foot out of the toe box. If I was clipped in, that would have definitely been a crash and fall. But the bike ride was actually quite nice. It was what they call fast and flat. There were a little bit of an incline, but not by much. The route was well marked. There was someone that her bike chain, I think it was her bike chain, had busted, and she was about maybe 6 miles out into the race, and so she was having to walk it. That's a lot. I mean, it's a 13-mile loop that we were doing. Somebody else had something like that happen where they had a pinch flat, but it was not that far from when we first got started. So he actually just turned around and walked back with his bike. But overall, it was, it was a good ride. It was a good ride. And then back into transition, once I dismounted, I had a lot of, I'm not quite sure if it's lactic acid, but my legs felt heavy. And so I was like, let me just kind of walk it in and mount the bike. So that way, again, I could kind of loosen up a little bit with my legs, because I was going to be running here in just a second. So once I got the bike back and I put it on the mount and I changed out my shoes, put on my running shoes, I was like, okay. Now that's one thing I would say, I wish it was better marking of where to begin, because when I came out of the transition box, you do have the arch that says run out or run start, but it's not like there's a path that leads straight to the course. So I was actually starting, and John was like, no, you got to go down the green. And so I had to come back and go down the green, and then I started. But then at that point, the course was pretty simple, and my focus was just steady. And I found a good pace to just kind of keep myself moving forward. No major stress on like the joints or anything like that. There were some people that really came out the gate running really fast and then ended up walking. I'm really proud. I didn't walk any. The only time I stopped was when I started feeling like, when you have that shoelace that's hitting you on your other foot. I had that feeling. I looked down and yeah, my shoelace was untied. So I stopped just to tie my shoelace, and then I continued just with that steady pace. So it was that first lap, and I didn't realize there was going to be 3 laps. So I was like, okay, I'm doing good. I've got good time. And one lady was running next to me, and I say, good job, because you cheer everybody else on as you're racing. Good job, keep it up, you're doing great, etc. He goes, yeah, this is lap 2 for me. I'm almost done. And I was like, hold on, pre-K pause. What? She goes, yeah, you got to do this 3 times. So at that point, I was like, all right, just stay the course. And I just kept that pace. And I actually thought of it like when I would do my ladder workout, whereas 1 of 3 or 2 of 3. So that's how I thought of it. I'm midway.
Good job, Naomi. Keep going. Ice cream on the way home. There you go.
Now it's my last one. Keep it going.
There you go. Hands up if you want ice cream. There you go.
I was doing it for the ice cream. I was looking forward to the ice cream as my reward. And once I was done, it was good.
Come on, Naomi, this way, this way.
Monique. Yeah. You got this.
Come on, you got it.
You got it. Keep going.
Finish strong. There you go. Finish strong. Good job. Let's go. Almost there. Finish strong. You did it.
So race is done, and of course they were giving out awards and whatnot. I need to hydrate. So I went ahead and I got something to drink, and I was looking for something that may have,
I did. I need a banana.
I was thinking of going to get it, but as John had put it, he's like, there's one already in your bag. And so, of course, having to go back to transition to go get my stuff. And the banana's there. One of my work counterparts actually showed up to give support, which was awesome. So shout out to Donna for showing up. Love you, girl. And then, being able to just use the hyperized boots and the calves also helped out a lot. I was really fatigued. My blood sugar did drop. There was a moment where I was like, all of a sudden you get the dark swirlies in your vision. And I was like, yep, this is not a good sign. I need something high in sugar. I need potassium, and I need to lay down. And so, as soon as that was accomplished, I was able to eat the banana. I had a pineapple ginger drink, and I laid down in the car with the boots and the hyperized calves, and I just let that keep going for 30 minutes at a time. And John did the driving back home because I crashed. My body definitely needed recovery, and so shout out to Hyperice for helping with a lot of that recovery. And just rest. One of the things that I definitely learned is my nerves got the best of me when we were going down. I should have eaten even more, and I didn't. And so on the back end, I am feeling that. So I am playing catch up so that my body is able to get the nutrition that it needs. So next time around, definitely more, clean carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates to have in my system. And even when we get to the event the night before, it's eat. I understand and get tired and get some rest, but I need to eat as well because I didn't. I went straight to bed. I also know that I'll probably be switching up a little bit of my workout training. So still having progressive overload, but having some strength that requires some endurance as well. So looking at a little bit of some of the workouts that are done for high rocks training. And using ladder, there's actually one of the coaches that has something that's kind of a mixed multi-sport training program that I'll be starting. But this was a learning. This was the first one for this year, so it's a learning opportunity of what went well, what was okay, and what could be done to do better next time. And so I will be able to do better